Today in our Storytime segment, we're actually talking about storytelling in business.
Are we doing stories within stories?
Stories, thoughts for your thoughts, and stories for your stories. Ayo, 9 to 5 MisFits, we're here back again to help you crush unemployment and find your dream career. So we talked about hacks on how to actually leverage storytelling for your business, like having a beginning, middle, end, and check out our video, you'll know more. So we'll go straight into our stories, and I'll start with mine. So when I got laid off last year, I was like super, apprehensive to tell people this is what's happening to me, but there was another girl I knew that got laid off at the time, and I decided to share my story with her, and I told her this is how I feel, I'm really nervous, blah blah blah. And because I opened up to her, she and actually told her my story, she actually was able to help me out in that process. She said the first thing you're gonna lose is structure, so be aware of that, and try to stick to a routine. Make sure you eat a healthy breakfast, because that's always the beginning of a good day, and things like that just led to me feeling skipping over feeling depressed or anxious, and all of these things that most people actually feel when they lose their job.
I mean, that's very sage advice, and it helped prepare you a bit. Right?
Yeah, so I was able to get ready for it, and I think she made all the mistakes, so I didn't have to. And this is purely just from me telling my story. I don't think it would have happened if I just kept it within. And as brown people, we don't share very much, so this is
I know.
You don't share anything that's negative, so the fact that this worked out was great. And I don't know if you've seen this thing on Facebook called Tiny Tales or Terrible Tiny Tales. It's 6 or 10 word stories, or maybe 3 line stories, but they're usually super dark, and they have a beginning, middle, and end. It's really, really
I mean,
dark.
Tiny Tales sounds like something I would read about when I was a little child. So what is
it's not no Looney Tunes and DuckTales.
We should start a fun one, stories about animals.
Squirrel.
Oh yeah, but that's similar to what Dana Steele was telling us about, right?
Yeah.
So if any of you Houstonians are aware of the local celebrity Dana Steele, she's amazing. So we had interviewed her a while ago, and she used to be an RJ, and she used to interview rock stars and stuff. And then eventually she became a speaker and everything, and she always had she had this 3-word story about herself where she said, I create rock stars. That became her tagline. And so she introduced us to this idea of the 3-word story. So I think we're still, I don't know.
I haven't figured
my story is.
I've been changing so much, I'm out of 3 words now. So think of your 3-word story. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Ooh, I eat food.
Nice. Excellent.
I mean,
that is everything
that's all I ever do. But but speaking of which, she kind of told us about this in a business context as well, which I started to think about, what is my identifier, right? How would I actually talk about myself in a business context? And then my mind kind of wandered to, those classic examples of interview questions. I mean, that's a big reason why you would want to learn how to tell a good story, because especially if you've ever been in a behavioral interview, which is everyone ever. So in that situation, that's the classic example of where you want to use all those strategies and stuff that we actually talked about. So we said, the beginning, middle, and end, you want to hook them with something that they want to listen to right from the start. So I have a story that I would always tell at all my interviews, which was if they asked, what's your biggest strength, or how are you under pressure? Tell us about a time when you had a difficult situation. I'm like, did I? Let me tell you. So there was actually this time I used to work in hotel management, and there was a time when I used to work banquets, and I used to oversee these banquets, and we'd always set up the banquets ahead
Close
of time.
to food, I understand.
I know, that explains a lot. So we would set up these banquets ahead of time, so that all we had to do on the day off was just bring out the food. And so we had put out these, I guess they were spoons for the dessert, and someone was stealing spoons from the restaurant, because why not? And so I came in the morning, we had already set up everything the night before. I come in at 5:30 in the morning, and there are no spoons. And I was like, why? This was Easter Sunday. So there was this church group that had been fasting all night, and they were gonna come do a full-fledged 3-course dinner at 7 in the morning. So we needed all of those supplies, right? This was a big deal. At the same time, our last course that was going out was a creme brulee, which was the dessert, and the butane torch that is supposed to, how the sugar thing is burned. So the only butane torch we had to burn the sugar was out. So that stopped working.
Just creme. There's no
brulee. And so, yeah, so then that happened. Then our banquet captain, who's like the head of the banquet thing, there were only 3 people on duty and he wasn't there. So he just didn't show up.
He got wasted last night.
Yeah, he probably got soups wasted and did not show up. And so I had one less employee. I had no torch to brulee the cremes, and then I had no spoons to eat the creme brulee with. And then also on top of that, in the restaurant which I also oversaw, it ran out of receipt paper, and because this was Easter Sunday, a lot of people were coming for brunch. So I was just like, okay, just take me now, seriously.
Yeah,
But then I had to jump into tactical ninja mode. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to a nearby restaurant or hotel and just beg them to borrow their spoons. Drove around, did that, then I went to Home Depot, picked up a torch, and then I had to go to Starbucks. And I still remember you, evil Starbucks woman, because I told her that I'm in this crisis mode, and she was like, oh, I'll let you buy a receipt paper for $10. So I was just like, I hate you so much, but I need this. So then I bought it, and so I just went back and I was like, here, everything. And then I subbed in for the banquet captain, and I was like, I'm just waiting for this day to be over.
You're like, I need a 12-day vacation.
Yeah. But it's a great story to tell. And now anytime I'm ever at an interview, I can be like, let me bust out my one story. So.
Yeah, and you saved the day with dessert. It makes all the sense. You're a superhero right there. This is our version of Perd Hapley's Ya Heard with Perd.
And that is the end of this story. So we are going to stop talking now.